Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in a recent video that I made, I briefly mentioned self-confidence, body confidence, whatever terms you want to use, basically just talking about my personal image, how I view myself and my body. And a few people commented on that video saying they'd like another video specifically talking about that, and so that's what I'm going to be doing today. So just a little background to this video. I, like many other girls in the world, I struggle with self-esteem, how I view myself and my body, with weight, fitness, whatever. And I just want to talk about my experience and how I got to where I am today. So I grew up being very athletic, I guess you could say. I grew up doing a lot of sports, like name a sport and I will tell you that I probably tried it. I may not have succeeded in every sport that I tried, but I definitely tried a lot of sports. Like seriously, you name it. And so growing up, I was very active. However, my eating habits were not the best. That then led to weight gain at a young age. And I never really started thinking about my weight until 6th grade. So I was around 11. And someone had come up to me and told me I was fat. And I was like, excuse me. No one had ever made comments before until a boy came up to me and told me I was fat. Now, given I was not fat, I've never been at an obese weight. I was always just kind of that, just slightly chubbier than the others. And then my parents joined a gym, so therefore I became a member there as well. And so being fit and healthy kind of came into my mind at a young age of like trying to be skinny, because apparently I wasn't. And so basically I grew up with this mindset of, oh, I have to work out a lot and sometimes eat healthy, or like there was like one time in middle school where I went like a month of being a vegetarian and then I quit because I just really wanted a steak from Outback. And then as I got older and I got into the MySpace scene, you know, like taking selfies all the time, I like started realizing more and more that I did not look like the other girls. I did not wear size 4 Hollister jeans, which we all know is like a 00. I couldn't even fit in Hollister jeans, and so I was the girl shopping at Aeropostale while all the other cool girls were shopping at Hollister, and because I can only fit into Aeropostale. And I also couldn't afford Hollister anyways, so growing up, I was basically always trying to change myself and how I looked. To be liked by boys, that was actually one of the main reasons. I grew up always trying to change how I looked for other people and never really for myself. Now we get to high school. It wasn't really until around the end of 10th grade where I was about 15 and I started losing weight. I was kind of growing into my height. I'm a very tall person and I was growing into my height, and so my body was kind of settling itself out. My eating habits didn't change too much, however, I was probably eating less at the time. That was like, oh my gosh, almost like 10 years ago. Well, more like 8 years, but still, that's a really long ways away. I was like starting to feel really good about myself. I saw pictures of myself and I was like, wow, I look great. And this kind of like spurred on this, hey, well, since I've made it this far, let's see how much further I can take it. And then I went on to my exchange in Germany, and when I got there, I didn't want to be rude about food, and so like I ate everything that was given to me, however in very, very, very small portions, because I was so nervous and homesick that I didn't really have an appetite at all. However, this then led on to a downhill spiral. I started noticing that I was losing a lot of weight and I was getting down to a smaller jean size without really trying. I just wasn't eating very much because I did not have hunger at all. And then one day there was this one boy that I was interested in and things ended up not working out. And I instantly thought the reason is because of my weight. And I looked great at this time. Like, looking back now, I was like, I looked fine. I was rather healthy. I mean, I wasn't eating a lot, but I mean, that's okay. I was still eating, but then my mindset immediately changed in that moment. And I thought, I'm not going to eat ever again. Obviously that's not true, but it was this, I need to do something, and that is kind of where I slipped into very unhealthy habits. I would only eat an apple a day, like only eat an apple. And then I would also be mad at myself for eating that apple. I was trying to starve myself, really. For me, it was very unhealthy because I was starving myself, and so I would drink my pain away of how I viewed myself, and this then led on to purging. If I did eat something one day, I would purge in the restroom as often as I could. This didn't last very long, but this like on and off cycle of starving myself plus binging and then purging went on for a good couple of months, and no one knew about it. I then became very depressed in my exchange year, and it wasn't until like the end of my exchange year that I kind of like got out and I started making friends and eating a lot, but some at least normally, and I gained some weight, and then when I got back home I lost some weight again, gained some weight again, and it's always this fluctuating thing of gaining weight, losing weight with me, and it always has been. But then I want to say like the thinnest I've ever been was around like 18. Even then I wasn't having healthy habits. I was working out a lot, like a lot. Plus not eating very much. And so my body was burning off more calories than I was taking in. It felt great, looked great, although I was doing it in very unhealthy ways. As I entered college, I started gaining slowly a little bit more weight and just becoming more of a woman. I read somewhere that the woman's body changes every 7 years, and around 21, I'm 22 now, so like last year, I really started noticing that my body was putting weight in certain places that I hadn't recognized before, or not that I hadn't recognized it before, but just like I was just becoming more of a woman, and I wasn't 18 anymore. It was actually really hard for me to realize I'm not 18 anymore, and my body is telling me this, and I'm noticing the changes. I'm getting more curvy. Even then, I was still paying attention to what I was eating and trying to be active, but really there was no big change in things that I would eat or things that I would do. I wasn't eating more, I wasn't exercising less. It was just kind of the things I'd always eaten, but now I was just putting on weight, and it wasn't going away as easily. So that was rough. That was really, really rough. But then I kind of just like let it slide, and I was like, well, it's not like I'm not being active in any way, and it's not like I'm not concentrating on what I'm eating. And then came my wedding pictures. So now we're up to a recent spot in my life. My wedding ceremony was in July this year, and when I got my wedding pictures back, it like really hit me how much my body has changed. And my first thought was, I look so fat. I was so disappointed because no girl wants to look fat on their wedding, or at least like have that mind concept of like, oh, I look awful. So I was really struggling. So my first thought was to text a couple of friends, and I was just like, hey, got my wedding pictures back. I look awful. Please help me out. I kind of just want to share with you the wisdom that they gave to me that I now want to give to you. And these are women that are really dear to me and are close to me. And these are women that I trust and who are a little bit older than me. So basically, the first thing that they told me was, Sarah, you look beautiful. I was not allowing myself to say that I was beautiful on my wedding day. I just automatically had this wall up in my head of what I looked like on my wedding day. And so my friends were trying to break that wall down and say like, no, you looked great. You look like a beautiful bride, and that's exactly how you're supposed to look. And then they just mentioned to me that they are at a place where going out to a restaurant with a group of friends and enjoying a good meal every once in a while, a meal that you want and a meal that you enjoy, is okay. And that to me is far more important than trying to look like something that society wants me to look like, or the way that my brain has been trained into thinking how I need to look. And so I would much rather enjoy a nice burger and fries at a restaurant with a great group of friends and a glass of wine than sitting there unhappily with a freaking salad. Like, honestly, that also doesn't go to say that I eat that every day. And I also know that it's not like I'm just lying on the couch all day every day and doing nothing and not being active in any form. I ride my bike to work and back fairly often, and those are good. That's like a good 6-7 kilometers a day, and it is a workout, let me tell you. My thighs. I am a member at a gym that I attend when I have the time, and although being active is not my favorite thing in the world, I do it, and so I'm not in a place to complain. And if this is how I look where I am in my life right now, I'm okay with that. And if I'm not okay with that, then I have the choice to either sit and wallow and just cry and whine about all my problems and how I look, or I can do something about it. And so I just want to encourage you, you have the choice to either be okay with where you are right now and to be okay with how you look and be like, hey, you know what? I'm fine. I'm not unhealthy. I am enjoying my life, and if that means I'm enjoying a good burrito, and so be it. But if I feel really crappy about myself, then yeah, I'll do something. And so currently I'm in a place right now where I am being very aware of how much I'm eating. Am I actually hungry when I eat? Having the freedom to say no to friends when they go out to a restaurant, and when do I want to be active, and how active do I want to be, how much time do I want to invest into working on myself. And so that's kind of just where I am now, and I'm content with how I look right now because it's me, and no one in their right mind is looking at me and automatically thinking, wow, she's so fat. I am perfectly okay with where I am right now. All I want to say. And that's how I got there. And if I ever get to a point where I'm not okay, then I will do something about it, because I don't want to just sit and whine and be like, I'm fat, I don't like my arms, and then not do anything about it. Does that make sense? But all of this to say, take care of yourself and love yourself. Love your body, love where you are right now, love the work in progress that you are, and try to be content. Don't be too harsh on yourself, because I have been harsh on myself for way too many years. I'm just now getting to a point where I'm gonna say it's okay. Thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. This is kind of a bit of a longer video than I was planning for, but I hope that this answers any questions. And if you do have more questions about this topic, please just write them down in the comments below. I'd love to answer them or just have a conversation with you. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I talk about a lot of things that are personal and deep because I just love to talk about those things. Anyways, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Bye.